In the meadow, Fibby can build a snowman. He can make the snowman. Oh, Lord. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the extravagant adoption blowout live stream. This is going to be a rough one for the Fibbits. For many years, he's been lying about one of the biggest, greatest lies Fibby's ever concocted, and the longest ongoing lie that we did crack wide open the other day, the adoption lie. Let's say hi to the chat first. We're going to start this a little different. Make sure you hit the like, show Uncle MRE some love. Don't treat me like a leper. No, I was treated like a leper most of my life. I want to get past that. Watch of Crazy, my boy Jason. Krumel, the architect. What's going on? The great photographer. Mustang Mike. Paulie. What's up, Paulie? My bro. Give Kaiser a hug for me. Scotty Bugatti. Paps needs gas money. Get me a beer, bitch. What's up? Black Hat Music. Craig. My bro. It seems like people are trickling over slowly but surely to the new hangout, the new little clubhouse, the Fibby Clubhouse. Damien, what's up, Bruder? What's going down? We're going to let some people trickle in. It might take a few days, a few weeks, a few months. We've been on this ship for months. I'm only kidding. Today, the great lie of Fibbins, what he's always, and why did he tell this lie? You might be sitting back saying, why would somebody lie about being adopted? Well, because he wanted to portray himself as an Italian. Bears and cigars. What's going down, my brother? What's up? Because now I want you to look at this picture. Focus on Fibby's smile, and I want you to see the dad smile. This is the dad. This is Fibby. He's not adopted. I'm going to show you the brother Tony later, too. God bless Tony. He's a good dude, too. Tony Loman. Look at that. Now, you tell me that's not his birth father. And you remember we're going to go over the adoption stories. We got Spike Cult. We got some, we're going to be watching some Spike Cult on Rumble. We got all the channel links in the descriptions for Spike Cult, Fibby's Playhouses, and all kinds of little scrumptious stuff like that. We're going to I'll be going over a few articles of the Fibster. Mailman Nick, what's up, man? What's going on, Kirk? How's it going? Hold on, can you still see my videos? Are still up? Used to be able to. Oh, all right. Just a minute. Ken, what's going on? Perhaps you gas. Oh, you're still up. All right. We're still up in that. Now, I want you to notice the picture, and Fibby will say that we're hating on his family and attacking his dad. No one ever is going to do that over here. I actually have a lot of respect for the father for being a veteran of Vietnam War. He did have a Silver Star, so God bless him. But that's his real dad. Look at the face and the smile. That's Fibby's smile, man. That's Fibby's smile. That's his birth father. We all seen the last video I did with the brother Tony. I might pull that up for a second here too in the beginning. Then we're gonna get into first. We're gonna watch a few of the articles, laugh at a few of the articles of Fibby saying, "Fibby is Jeff." If anybody's here, if Tim walking with Tim sees this, Jeff is Fibby. Fibby is Jeff. They're one and the same. They're like two little Siamese twins that were never split apart. But they were split apart. We have two different articles where Fibby says he grew up in mafia families in Providence in New York, Canarsie, Brooklyn, all this crazy Fibster stuff. He was a bookie, all this crazy stuff. What a psycho. What's up, Black Hat Music? What a total psycho. We're going to watch Spike Cult. Let's show you what Spike Cult. Shout out to Spike Cult. If you are not on Rumble, you must get on Rumble and go check my boy out, Spike Cult. It's a Legion of Spike Cult. Spike Cult Legion right here. He's got some classic video. Look at this. Look at the classic thumbnails he has and videos he has up there. He's got a lot of great lore on the locales and double speakers. And whatever you want to call this, YouTube, whatever. How funny was that Heinz ketchup?
Do this simple bedtime ritual to improve vision by up to 44%. You may not know this, but the biological...
We're going to pause on Spike Cult right there. We're going to go to the articles. Before we watch Spike Cult, Maddie, what's up? We'll let a few people come in here first. What's up, Maddie? Debbie Cat Mercy Connick doesn't like when you pick on her little girl, Fibby. I know. It's Mercy Connick's going to be very angry. Well, what I say is she should leave a ham sandwich on her curb for Fibby to eat. Put some mustard and extra mayo on for Fibby. Fibby wants extra mayo on his ham sandwich. Now, we got these interviews right here. This tab. This is an interview with Jeff Canarsie. This is after the interview. He had this guy take it down. This was on what's his name's channel? Howdy Doody, Jacob Stukes, Mr. Rogers, and Howdy Doody combined equals Toby Gillis. Scottish Deb, oi, oi, oi. Joe, what's up, bro? I love the pictures you've been putting up. Oh, we're not just destabilizing America, we're destabilizing Fibby. Fibby who? Fibby Corleone. Yes. We have one article right here that we're going to go to this article right here. I'm going to show you this. Another one where he brags about his family could be on, the description, a little bit about your background. They could be leg breakers. So I'll read that all too. I'll read that out. I'll read both of them out. Then we'll watch Spike Cult. And then we also have, once again, like it says, the biggest lie debunked that we've done with Fibby, his greatest lie ever told, the longest lie, the biggest lie that he has to explain to his friends. Now, picture the Gorkies and the very few simps that he has, and very few. I'm talking 1 or 2, 1.5. That the greatest lie ever. Look at the dad, man. The dad is Fibby Smile. That's his son. And we confirmed it with Tony Lohman also. So that is just straight ridiculous. Crazy to make lie. And why did he make that lie up? So he could say he was Italian. It's very sick. David, how's it going? Look at this guy. He loves legend of being a mafia. Yeah, he's insane. He's quite a crazy person. And to lie. Well, his adoption stories didn't make sense. We're going to tackle the adoption story. We probably should tackle that first with Spike Cult, honestly, is the adoption story, because it's way out there. There's 2 stories with the adoption story. There's 2 of them. We have the 2 fathers on the same ship, the biological and adopted dad on the same ship. And then we have the little baby, his little sister story, which is all fugazi. So we're going to jump into Spike Cult. And we're going to hit play. And Spike Cult, if you're on Rumble, make sure you sub to him. The link is in description.
Because you're only as good as the last envelope you drop.
Good point.
How many times have you heard the story? You know, when you go in that life, it's going to be 6 of your friends that do it to you.
Yeah.
Hello, Tom Lebecki here with.
Man, shout out to Tom. Tom knows I'm streaming this. I've streamed it before. It's on Spike Cults, and Tom's like a free speech guy. So, Fibby, Tom's not going to come strike me neither.
A very special in-studio edition of the New Theory podcast. I never thought this day was going to happen. I don't think my guest who I'm about to announce think this was going to happen. But today we have in the studio our second studio interview with Jeff Canarsie, also runs Mob Talk Radio. For those that know, the kind of mob genre took off during the pandemic. I'll just say the P word.
That's right. Paps needs gas money. He's been writing all kinds of notes and saying he's sick and all this weird stuff about being sick lately. He's been spurging out. I'm trying to hit the speed thing. Let's speed it up here.
Demonetized and took off between informants, current podcasters that are doing a switch to the mob genre, or like people that have been around. And this guy is literally the founder of the space. Jeff Canarsie, welcome to New Theory Podcast. How you doing today?
Good, thanks, Tom. Glad to be here.
Did you ever think, A, you would be on my show, and B, sitting across from me at a table?
Without violence? No.
Exactly.
Notice that, without violence. I want you to notice the Joan Collins shoulder pads that he ripped off from the set of Dallas, 1985, or Knots of Landon, 86. BK, what's up? MRH, what's up?
Exactly. Jeff's been critical on me, and we'll get to that in a little bit. And I respect Jeff. So typically when people give criticism, they generally don't have the moral authority. But Jeff does and did. So we're gonna jump right in. There's a lot of
watch him lie right to Tom's face.
Where the hell you're from? Give us your formative years and what kind of helped shape you as a man that you are.
Look, where are you from? Give us your formative years. Watch this, big hanky. He throws Mailman Nick. What's up? Make sure you give Mailman Nick a sub. Watcher, what's up? Make sure you give Watcher a crazy a sub. Support the channels. BK, what's going down, man? Ken Kniff. Watch him lie right to Tom's face. This is the longest lie he's been. This is the longest lie going. Here with Fibby is obviously I'm adopted. Here we go. Oh, and once again, disclaimer: we are not making fun of people who were adopted. I have friends and family who were adopted. I think it's a wonderful thing. He will also try to say we're making fun of him for being adopted, which is ridiculous. Making fun of him for lying, doxing, making a total low call of himself. Back to the show.
So I was born in New York City, obviously. But the reason why I'm going to preface it this way is because there seems to be a distortion. I was adopted, and I was to not get too detailed, but I was sort of left in a crib to die.
Hey.
And
so right there, he was adopted and left in a crib to die. Why did he say that? Sympathy, sympathy, hey, sympathy. He wants your sympathy. He wants you to feel bad for little Febbles. Heather, what's going down? Agent. He's sick because he faked mafia person. Yes, that's right. He is sick because of his fake mafia persona is crumbling, and he's having a nervous breakdown. Well, maybe you shouldn't come on here and make up a fake mafia persona, Fibby Corleone. Maybe you shouldn't do that. Maybe you shouldn't have said Raymond Petrarca was your grandfather. Maybe you shouldn't have helped people dox people, right? Maybe you shouldn't have threatened mothers on here, like you're the Thorpe's mom. Great guy you are, Febs. Right? Unbelievable. Wow, I can hear myself. I don't like that. Grumpy Chow Chow, what's going on? Shout out to the Grumpy Chow. He wasn't adopted, though. She can't make fun of them. Wait, he wasn't adopted, though. She can't make fun of them for being adopted, make fun of them. We're saying he was adopted. Yes, exactly. We're not making fun of him for being adopted. We're saying he's lying about being adopted. Let's get back.
And EMS was called, kicked in the doors, took me, went through the court system. My biological father was in the Navy, refused to get off his ship. Didn't give a shit. Okay.
Look at this straight lie to Tom's face. His biological father refused to get off the ship to save him. They left him in some little, like, as he describes it, a little crack house or some house all destroyed. He was left to die, basically. He was left to die. We know that's a lie. That's a lie. And his also lie about being born in New York, growing up in New York. I'm going to show you the other articles right here where he says, right here, I was born in Canarsie, Brooklyn. I spent a brief part of my childhood there. At the age of 10, we moved to Providence, Rhode Island, where my mom was from. All lies, Fibster. All lies. We'll touch on that later. Alligator. Only kidding. All right, let's get back to Fibbles. Can everybody see this on screen right here? We got to get back to Fibbles. All right, here we go.
My father, the man I call my father, was the commanding officer of that ship.
Oh, wow.
And when he found out about it, he said, we got to get this kid help or whatever. At the time, Portsmouth Naval Hospital.
All right, real quick. I had to stop it again. Sorry, but he said the father of the ship. So the biological father was a regular Navy guy. The man, the adopted father, who he calls his father, is right here. He said he was the commanding officer of that ship. This man he said adopted him. This is his real father, birth father. You can see Jeff's face, Fibby's face right there, same smile. This is him. We've seen the brother, Tony. All a lie. Let's get right back.
It was the best hospital in the world for kids, and I had all kinds of
jaundice and
all of that. Yeah. And I had a disease called Pierre-Robin syndrome.
Oh, yeah.
All right, notice this. As soon as Tom says Johnson, he's like, oh, yeah. Tom could have said you had West Nile fucking virus, and he would have said, yeah.
Comes with a cleft palate, and they said I would never talk again, never walk.
You got a cleft palate?
Yeah.
Give me the name of that surgeon, please. Wow.
Yeah, Dr. Shafu.
Shout out to paging Dr. Shafu. Paging Dr. Shafu.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So I ended up in Portsmouth, Virginia. Okay. And at the time, my sister.
Portsmouth, Virginia. Listen to this.
Who biologically isn't mine, had cancer, and she was getting cancer treatments. So every day.
God rest that little baby's soul if this is true. So he's telling you, remember, the first adoption story was the dad was on the Navy ship. The commanding officer adopted him, who became his father. Now listen to this story, how it doesn't add up. It contradicts itself. Listen.
day they'd walk by this incubator and there's this little kid, and my sister just always wanted to wave. And the short end had cancer, and she was getting cancer treatments, a disease called Pierre-Robin syndrome, which comes with a cleft palate. And they said I would never talk again, never walk.
You had a cleft palate?
Yeah.
Give me the name of that surgeon, please. Wow.
Yeah, Dr. Shafu.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So I ended up in Portsmouth, Virginia.
Okay.
And at the time, my sister, who biologically isn't mine, had cancer, and she was getting cancer treatments. So every day they'd walk by this incubator and there's this little kid, and my sister just always wanted to wave. And the short end of this is that my sister said to my mother, we should adopt him. My mother says, what are you, nuts? And she says, Mom, I'm going to die. And
wow, imagine making that up. He sit there with a straight face and says, a little 9-year-old girl. Why would a little 9-year-old girl who's there for cancer treatment be walking through an infant ward with little infants who are being adopted? And think of this. Wouldn't the little kid have known because the father would have told them? Now, remember, the father is the commanding officer on the ship who saved Jeff from that house. Wouldn't if he said to the mother and little baby, we're adopting little Jeff? So he's telling two stories how he was adopted. Once the little baby just points, and what little kid at 9 years old, God forbid, that's dying is going to say, Mom, I'm not going to be around for a long time. We're going to adopt that baby. Wouldn't the father have already told them we're adopting a boy, a little baby, you're going to have a little brother, right? So this just makes no sense. And then he lies and says that we make fun of this little baby who died, God rest her soul. Who would make fun of a 9-year-old? Stop with that lie, because nobody believes you. If that was truth, you would have the recording of us doing that. And I would never no one over here would make fun of a little baby dying. Only you do that.
That'll be good. Wow. This is coming from a 9-year-old little girl.
Wow.
Listen, that's coming from a 9-year-old little girl. I don't believe it.
Just coming from a 9-year-old little girl.
Wow.
That's how I ended up with them. And then my mother's side of the family's all from Providence.
Okay. And then she make it?
No. She died in 1978, a year I was a year old.
So she's saying that the little girl passed in 78. But once again, lying about where he's crazy.
I don't remember anything about her, but no matter how bad life has been, no matter what life throws at me, I'm kind of living for two.
Yeah.
Wow, he's kind of living for two. Village Food, big guy, what's up? He's kind of living for two. This is sick. This is sick to make these lies up and stuff. Like, remember, he told Angel Gotti when he first met her, this is how he met her. He told her that Raymond Petrarca was his grandfather. Okay. That's why he won't put the interview up with her.
If that little girl had never, ever said nothing to my mother, I can promise you what would have happened to me would not have been good, just biologically speaking.
Now, listen what he's saying right there. If that little girl didn't point at me and didn't say that, I wouldn't have been adopted. Who knows what would have happened to me? But wait a minute. I thought your father from the ship was saving you. Does anybody follow me on that? Right? So he's saying to us, if that little baby girl, if his little sister didn't say, hey, we should adopt that little baby, he wouldn't be sitting with us here today. But that's irrelevant, because even if the little sister didn't say that, the father was already adopting you because the other Navy guy in the ship was abusing you. This makes no sense.
Because I know enough about my biological family. No. She died in 1978, a year I was a year old. I don't remember anything about her, but no matter how bad life has been, no matter what life throws at me, I'm kind of living for two.
Yeah.
Because if that little girl had never, ever said nothing to my mother, I can promise you what would have happened to me would not have been good, just biologically speaking, because I know enough about my biological family to know that that wouldn't have been a good situation. So that's how I ended up with them, and how I ended up in the Northeast. Is my father was in the Navy, got transferred all the time.
So his biological family, that is your biological family. We showed the dad. This is sick.
Yeah.
And that's where I spent my formative years, going back and forth between there and Virginia Beach, which everybody knows.
So he says Providence, Rhode Island, and Virginia Beach is where he spent his formative years going back and forth. That's not what it says right here. Let me show you. That's not what he says right here in the Scott Collier crime interview, where he tells everybody, I was born in Canarsie, Brooklyn. I spent a brief part of my childhood there. So he was right here. He's trying to tell you he lived in Canarsie, Brooklyn until he was 10 years old. At the age of 10, we moved to Providence, Rhode Island. That's bullshit, because what school did you go to? You didn't go to George J. West. You didn't go to Kenyon. What school did you go to? You didn't go to Perry. What school did you go? You didn't go to school. You didn't live in Providence. There is no mention of Virginia Beach here. He also lived in Yorkville, Pennsylvania, Yorktown, or whatever. There is no mention of that right there. This is he's a con man. You people have been conned by this guy.
I've never hit that. Yeah. I think people want to question lineage because I was here 3 years, there 3 years.
Hold on a minute. Fibby Tales popped in and says, I just uploaded that interview. Good to know, Fibby Tales. We'll check that out. Please remind me, people, about that. Now listen to what he says right here.
And if you understand Navy in the way that works,
and
you're
like
never
Navy brat,
right,
essentially.
Right. You never end up in one place. So all of my roots are in Providence, Federal Hill.
Yeah. Now
all of his roots are in Providence, Federal Hill. This kid, I've never seen him at Federal Hill in my life. Now I am from Kinley Street in Johnston, but I was born in Providence, went to school in Providence till 3rd grade. My grandmother and all my cousins lived on Ring Street, Tell Street, Africa Street, fucking Elmy Street. My grandmother lived on 131 Penn Street with my whole family, a 6-family house. Every apartment was my family members. I've hung up Federal Hill for many years. I played up there as a kid. All my cousins are from there. I would have ran into him at the Federal Hill house, at Gessler Street Pool, at Ridge Street Park. There's no way he's from that neighborhood, and there's no way he was a bookie up there and breaking in houses like he tried to tell Jacob Stukes.
This is going to kind of resonate with some people, and some people are like, why do people care? But we're kind of in a space, and this is going to go to the New Theory channel, which is a little broader and more business people and stuff watch stuff. But there seems to be some people that try to kind of get on you, where you from, like, oh, well, he says he's from here, or
what's up, Redith? Yes, what Tom, the reason why people are trying to get on him, as Tom knows now, is he's lied. He lies where he's from, he doxes people. He claims people's family. He calls Raymond Petrarca his grandfather, right? It's like, if you're gonna lie about my friend's family, I'm gonna make fun of you. Not only that, this guy started attacking me right after he gave me that stupid award, and I didn't kiss his ass or become his friend to call him up and be part of his little buddy crew. As soon as he gave me that award, within 2 weeks later, he was trying to dox me, and he did help them dox me and all that stuff. He's a weirdo.
What I don't get is, why does it matter where you're from? And you just answered it in 2 seconds. Like,
because it does matter where he's from, because he's bullshitting every Milwaukee, what's going down? Jeff up to the hill getting hot suit. Never in a million years.
You were in Providence, you're in New York City, and some people getting on you. I heard West Virginia before, but
not West Virginia, Virginia Beach. Agent Fibby, the brother, it's his real brother. I'm going to show you that in a little bit too. Remind me, his real brother. It's on my last video. Go see it. They look alike. Obviously, Tony's got all the looks in the family. He's way normal. He's a normal-looking guy and a very successful man. Tony Lohman is a good man. He's heavily ashamed of Jeff, heavily ashamed of him, because Jeff went out and told everybody they were the mafia, his family, the mafia. His father was breaking guys' hands apart. You can go watch the Don Q, Fibby Q video I got on this channel, and you'll hear him tell people how his father was torturing a guy with the mob because the grandfather's weight got broken into the same day. It just makes no sense. It's totally insane.
Who gives a shit where you're from? Like, why do you think people even care?
There was a content creator that called me Jewish for like a year.
Okay.
And I would always say, first of all, I'm Catholic. Yeah. Okay, half Italian, half Irish. But if I was Jewish, or if I was African American, or I was Hispanic, how does that discredit me?
It discredits you because you're lying. Yes, for a while, now I believe he's Jewish again, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you had a Polish last name, I would say you were Polish. If you had a English last name, I would say you were English. But you have a Jewish last name, so I merely said you're Jewish, right? We never called him no derogatory names or nothing like that. And no, it doesn't matter what you are, but it does when you're telling your life story. If you would have just came out and told Al Capone stories, no, it wouldn't matter what you were, where you were from, no, it wouldn't. But when you started putting yourself in the stories and saying that you have all these mobster cousins and they're going to beat people and do this and that and Columbo cousins and all these stories, then it does matter, because you're trying to put yourself, and you tried to steal Raymond Petrarca as your grandpa. And I still to this day believe you tell Jacob Stukes and people behind the scenes that Raymond's your grandfather.
Yeah, even so, let's say you were Jewish, and
right. How does that invalidate what I know, what I'm good at doing?
That wouldn't invalidate nothing if he was Jewish, just like he'd be anything else, right? But the point is of him lying. He was not adopted. So he's running from his last name. He's running from himself. He changed his name to Canarsie. You should be proud of your nationality, right? And he's like, well, I'm Catholic. Well, dude, you can be ethnically Jewish and convert to Catholicism. Jewish is not only a religion, it's also ethnicity. And I have Jews that are in here that watch my show. They don't feel offended. I don't rag on Jewish people. I'm not one of them people who think Jewish people are behind every fucking conspiracy in the world. Everybody does bad. And just happens that they do too. Everybody does. Let's get back to Jeffy.
It's the bottom of the barrel type of stuff they come up with, and that's all they can come up with.
No,
because believe me, whatever people do know,
Yeah.
the things they don't know,
Listen.
I laugh about it. If this is what you're going to go with, and
Yeah.
this is how you're going to crucify me or attempt to.
Yeah.
Okay, obviously you're not talking to other people because they could have told you more.
Like he told us that. How about this? When we watched the video 2 weeks ago, when he said during his court case, a guy set on another guy with a gun, so they couldn't testify against him. That's the problem, Jeff. If you didn't try to make yourself a gangster and a big badass and a mobster and knowing all these people and using dropping names, we wouldn't be it. If you weren't a doxer, you know, like I said, a week after he gave me that award, he didn't get the ass kissing that he wanted. He didn't get the friendship. He thought he was going to win my friendship with that stupid award. What's up, Wolf? What's up, Angela? MRH, what's up, bro? Ian, how's it going? Scotty Bugatti, my Bruder, what's going down? You know what I mean? It's amazing. These guys try to flatter you and get you to be their friends. Then when you don't want to be their friends, you tell them to screw, you're a dirtbag, they just go to doxing and looking your family up.
Yeah.
So I think anytime people can invalidate you because they don't like your success, the best way to invalidate somebody is to try to find some flaw. Then we're all flawed.
Yeah, you're very flawed, and your success, your channel is a joke. Fibby Tales gets more views than you do. That's sad. Imagine a parody channel. Thank you for the Cash App. I really appreciate that. Imagine if a parody channel of you is getting more views than you. That's sad. That means it's all over now. The curtain, you can see the man behind the curtain now. The emperor has no clothes. You are officially got caught lying for the adoption story. And here's the proof right here. This is the proof right here, folks. And God bless the father. This is the grandfather. R.I.P. to him, and God bless him too. I want you to look at the father in the smile. Look at Jeff. That's his son. That's his blood son. What's the odds? We've seen other pictures. I just don't want to put a bunch of pictures up here, but there's other pictures too that you can tell they're related. And all you got to do is go watch my last video on his brother, Tony Lohman. And Tony Lohman, you can tell they're blood related. He made that lie up for one thing only, that steal culture, like a culture vulture, just like Traplaw Ross, Adam 16, all these, he's a culture, he's an Italian culture vulture. He came here to steal our spaghetti and our meatballs. He came here to steal our swag, our Italiano. What an idiot. Just be proud of what you are, no matter what you are or where you're from. You can't.
But at the end of the day, whether I'm Jewish, German, whatever the case may be, what the hell does that matter?
You're a liar.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. So okay, so we talked about kind of the boom a little bit in the introduction of the mob genre, right?
Right.
At this point, you got like Francis, you have Sammy, and then you kind of go to the non-informants, OC Shorts, and some other really, RJ Rogers was on his own as well. So you have some good talented people in the space in terms of non-informants, but you're obviously not informants.
Hold on, we're gonna go check. I'm gonna really quick check the Fibby channel. We'll come back to some stories with Mommy on here in a minute. I'm gonna saw the Fibby just dropped something. Let's see. No, let me see. Where did it drop on the Fibby? Let me check here. I'm just checking. Let's see where it dropped. All right, just dropped right now. We're gonna listen to this. All right, we're gonna listen to this, folks, and then back to the Tom stream. All right, let me first show you the Scott Collier thing, so you know people. He's gonna tell you we made this up. So here's the original thing from interview, Mob Talk Radio host Jeff Lohman. This is everything in the interview that you're going to be seeing right now. All lies about being from Providence, being a bookie, being a badass gangster, having his family as gangsters, all that nonsense, people. All right, now let me let's get us on the Fibby thing. Sorry for the grayness for a second. Let's get on the Fibby channel. The fam is top notch. The Fibby Tells Us channel's link is in the description also. If you're not subscribed to it, subscribe to this, Spike Cult, and all the glorious little fibtatious links you see at the bottom.
I was born in Canarsie, Brooklyn, and spent a brief part of my childhood there. At age 10, we moved to Providence, Rhode Island, where my mom was from. She came from a really large family, and that's actually where my parents met.
Now, isn't that insane? Look at little mouse. He comes from Providence. So this story has changed over the years and morphed where I was born and how long I was there. This has morphed over 100 times in the last few years. Well, I know Papsy's gas money. Kelly, the brunette, what's going down? WOC and the place to be. Now, listen, oh my God, has this warped over the years. It went from being born in Virginia Beach, then moving to Providence, being born in fucking New York, then moving to Providence, being born in Providence, then moving to New York. It's jumped and bounced around. I can't tell you how many times. But let's get into the Scott Collier True Crime Page interview of Fibby, April 14, 2016.
For background, I was born in Canarsie, Brooklyn, and spent a brief part of my childhood there. At age 10, we moved to Providence, Rhode Island, where my mom was from. She came from a really large family, and that's actually where my parents met. Newport, Rhode Island. I don't exactly come from a traditional family in the sense of the phrase.
Now listen to this. I don't come from the traditional family in sense of the phrase. He's setting you up for the mafia lies, and here we go.
Traditionally, families have doctors, lawyers, professional people. And
what about your brother? Notice this, people. Sorry to break that up, but his brother's professional. He didn't mention his brother being a fucking a provost at a university. That's something to be proud about, right? Shit, that's something to be proud about. Your brother is like second in command at a college. He didn't mention that. He lies to you and tells you his family's a bunch of bone breakers and criminals. What a phony.
Professional people, and don't get me wrong, professionals have doctors. Phrase. Traditionally, families have doctors, lawyers, professional people, and don't get me wrong, we have those too. But there is another side to all that which I will get into at some point. But let's just say I come from a very political family and a family who could put leg breaker on a job application if that was universally acceptable as a job.
Yes, they could put leg breaker on an application. He wants you to believe he's got this big bad mafioso family, leg breakers, heartbreakers. Oh, it's just disgusting. It is truly disgusting and sad and very, very sad that, I feel bad for his family. I really do. This is a shame.
Acceptable as a job skill.
When did your interest in organized crime start, and how did you build up the extensive knowledge you have on the subject?
I don't think I have told anyone this story ever.
Listen.
I was 11 years old, and I was at a local video store with my brother.
All right, his brother's Tony Lohman, the brother who's the Providence College guy, Providence lead breaker. Peter, what's up? What she's going to tell you. Yeah, I heard A-Rat was arrested, Leto was arrested, a liar, a all-around bad... Yeah, I'm not surprised. We'll cover that in the future. But let's get back to his little bitch, Fibby, because he lived with Johnny A-Light for 2 months.
With my brother. I, of course, wanted to rent some ninja movie. He wouldn't have it and grabbed a copy of Goodfellas. He said it was important that I watch it, and I needed to understand it. I had no idea what he meant, but I started seeing things in that movie I recognized. The suits, the cars, the language, the whispered conversations. I had an immediate flash forward to my relatives. Things like, Uncle Jimmy talks like him, or Uncle Tony dresses like that.
Uncle Tony dresses like that. Uncle Jimmy talks like him. You're trying to tell me that his professor brother, Tony Lohman, sat him down with this? Nope, not happening. Listen to it again.
I don't think I have told anyone this story ever. I was 11 years old, and I was at a local video store with my brother. I, of course, wanted to rent some ninja movie. He wouldn't have it and grabbed a copy of Goodfellas. He said it was important that I watch it, and I needed to understand it. I had no idea what he meant, but I started seeing things in that movie I recognized. The suits, the cars, the language. The whispered conversations. I had an immediate flash forward to my relatives. Things like, Uncle Jimmy talks like him, or Uncle Tony dresses like that. The movie drew a parallel to the people I loved and called uncle, cousin, grandpa. All through that movie, my
Wow, he called them all uncle, cousin, grandpa. This is sick. And what else Fibby posted recently? He posted this big post of a mass flagging campaign against me. I'm going to try to use that to hit up YouTube and show him he's flagging my channel, mass flagging it. What an idiot. But look at that. So Tony Lohman, the leader of the college, second in command, grabbed a Goodfellas movie and told him, and he's seen guys whispering in ears and dressed like that, so he knew they were the mob. This is ridiculous. All lies.
They kept saying, see, do you see?
Look.
It took me a while to understand, but he was essentially telling me what my family did for living. There were other signs I began to...
But what about, his is funny. He's telling that Tony Lohman showed that they were in the mob with the Goodfellas thing. But he forgets in the stories he told us when his grandfather died. When his grandfather died, he said his father broke their hands apart with sledgehammers. So you would have known they were in the mob before this. None of it makes sense. All contradictory and crazy.
Together a few years later, but I was totally intoxicated by what I saw.
Look, that's the only truth. He was totally intoxicated by the mafia movie, where he wanted to be, you know what, I'm going to be Italian, and somehow, some way, I'm going to entwine myself with some mobsters' families, and I'm going to say I'm part of the mob, and I have mobster family members. That's what he did.
That day on, any book I could get my hands on, or any whispered conversation I could overhear, I wanted to be in the thick of it.
So every whispered conversation the Providence mobsters would have, Fibby would be there trying to listen. He wasn't even in Providence.
To play dumb and listen to those conversations, and I could read between the lines.
Yeah, he could read between the lines. What a bullshitter. It's all come crumbling down, Fib. All come crumbling down.
Things like, Joey had to go away.
Listen,
he was terminal.
Listen to this. Things like, this is how whackins and clippins. He knew somebody was getting whacked. This is why. Listen.
Had to go away. He was terminal. I could read between the lines. Things like, Joey had to go away. He was terminal, followed by laughter. It didn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what they meant.
All right, so his family would say to him, hey, Tony had to go away. Ha, ha, ha. And he read between the lines and realized that Tony had a whackings and clippings done to him.
I was hooked from day one.
Have you got any special guests lined up in the near future for the show, and if so, who?
Some guys on the burner, as they say. Jimmy Calandra is a guy the first would like to have on, but I get requests for a ton of different people.
He was obsessed with Jimmy Calandra because he's seen that stupid Nat Geo thing. These guys, that's why all these stool pigeons on here, that's why he went butterflies, tummy butterflies over Johnny A-Light, went and lived with him.
Time, and I have to schedule it out, and that's not always easy. I have talked to Frank Ganji, and I am still working on those details. I did it.
Look, he's talking to all, and if he grew up, all right, let's be honest, if he grew up around wise guys as a kid, you don't have to be a wise guy to grow up around them, right? You grew up around them. You're not going to like informants. You're not going to want to write informants letters, Frank Ganges. You're not going to want to talk to Dominic Montiglio like he did. You know, I'm not going to want to interview Jimmy Calandra. If anybody had any family member or loved one, uncle, father, grandpa in that life, you're not going to like no stool pigeons. You're not going to want to live with them, stay with them, talk to them. You're going to despise them because those are the people who hurt your family and friends. I hate stool pigeons, and I'm not a gangster, a tough guy, never was. But I grew up around a lot of wise guys when we had wise guys around here. We don't have them no more, but I grew up around a lot of them. I took care of one for the last 12 years of his life. I despise stool pigeons because they hurt the people I love.
Q&A with Dominic Montiglio. He felt more comfortable going that route. The details. I did a Q&A with Dominic Montiglio. He felt more comfortable going that route, but maybe I can convince him of other.
He did a Q&A with Dominic Montiglio, one of the dirtiest stool pigeons around.
Wise. The big one is Nicky Scarfo. I reached out to him in prison to answer some questions, and
Look, he's writing Nicky Scarfo letters. You're right, Mailman Nick. They would block him and think he was a psycho. He was writing Nicky Scarfo letters, just like Pole Smoke. Gunsmoke was writing Philip Leonetti letters. These guys are obsessed. They were writing Tommy Karate. He's obsessed with the mob, and he decided he could lie his way into being Italian. When I talked to his friends at Virginia Beach, they were like, oh, my God. We can't believe how dumb all them Italians are that believe Jeff. We cannot get over it.
Still waiting to hear from him. Apparently my show is listened to in prisons. I have no idea how, but too many people have told me otherwise, so who knows?
That's a lie. They don't listen to you in prison, you clown. And if they do, they laugh at you. Fibby Montana, he wrote Tommy Karate nonstop. Yes, he did. A Letters from a Fanboy starring Fibby Loman. Well said, Paps needs gas money. Sub to his channel. Drop your link, Paps.
Who inspires you?
My grandfather is my biggest inspiration. He was really special.
Oh, all right. Here's Secret Mafia Grandpa. Now, remember, he told Angel Gotti back at this time, 2016, that Secret Mafia Grandpa was Raymond Petriarca, my friend's father and my deceased friend's grandfather. R.I.P. to Chris. This is frustrating.
It's not just what he did, but it's how he led his life. The lessons he taught me I still take everywhere with me today. Some might ask how I can love someone so much who might have done some pretty bad things. The answer to that is cliche, but who did he hurt? They only hurt those in that life. He did whatever he might have done because the ends justified the means. He protected us, loved us, and I never saw that bad side of him.
All right, now he's going to say the grandfather protected him, right? But then on another hand, he's going to say the mother abused him so bad that he had to go to school with bruises everywhere. He also lied and said his dear mother put cigarette butts out on his head and burned him with cigarettes. Ridiculous. We're going to go to, after this, we're going to get back to the Tom interview where he talks about the abuse from the mother. And it's all lies. The mother did not abuse him.
Never. The only thing I ever saw was one time on Federal Hill. He went into a laundromat to pick up some clothes. There was a drunk guy inside hassling the owner.
Now, this laundromat he's talking about is my friend's laundromat who just died last November. No, 2 Novembers ago. You can go check his thing out. It's called The Last Dawn of Providence. R.I.P. to Louis. He's trying to say this happened in Louis' laundromat. This would have never happened at Louis' laundromat for numerous reasons. He says his grandfather threw somebody through a window. Louis' windows were very fucking thick. You're not throwing someone through that window. Number 2, a guy is not going to call you a wop in there. It just makes no sense. Listen.
The only thing I ever saw was one time on Federal Hill. He went into a laundromat to pick up some clothes. There was a drunk guy inside hassling the owner.
Now, a drunk guy hassling the owner? Yeah, anyone who's from Providence, what drunk guy is going to be in Louis' joint hassling him? Louis was in his 70s and he would have whooped his ass.
Father tried to intercede. He was being diplomatic about the situation. The guy called my grandfather a wop, and my grandfather threw him through.
The guy called his grandfather a wop in the heart of Federal Hill in Louis' fucking establishment. Give me a break.
And my grandfather threw him through a plate glass storefront window.
Wow.
I asked him later in life why he did that, and his response was twofold. He said, "Your words can get your body in a lot of trouble if you aren't careful."
Wow, Ken, you know just as well as I do, that story never happened. I've been in that laundromat probably 200-300 times, 400 times in my life. How many times I've been in that fucking laundromat? Those windows are so thick, you could not throw somebody through those windows. Maybe if you were Andre the Giant and you picked somebody up, maybe Andre the Giant possibly could, but the windows were very thick. You're not throwing somebody through there. Number 2, that place, like, nobody's going to go in there and start calling fucking Louis a wop. It just makes no sense. It's ridiculous on so many levels.
Teaching me that you never use racial slurs or ethnic slurs towards
Look at this. Here's his little PC. You never use ethnic or racial slurs. Come on.
He was teaching me that you never use racial slurs or ethnic slurs towards anyone, and that you also have to have respect for yourself. He was gentle, smart, loving, and truly one of a kind.
Why don't you tell the story no more, how you threw him through a plate glass window? Because he tells these stories, then he forgets these lies. He forgets these sick, demented lies.
You're a podcaster, but you did this very early on, like even pre-Rogan. So give me like why you first picked up a mic, how did you do it, and how did you
get to the mommy
to do a podcast? I don't think iTunes was even at the time.
No, it wasn't. It sounds funny.
No,
yeah,
PT and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Correct. And I think, you know what, my story's unique. I know a lot of stuff. Let's just see. And at the time,
low back, because it's almost no defense, but it's almost like a nuisance fee.
Right.
Let's just say like
party company to do merch.
Yeah.
And maybe I won't make as much. You know what I did? I went out and bought a t-shirt press. And I designed all of
the okay, so I do some merch. You're building up an ecosystem. How was your retention? Like, did you ship 2,000? Keep everybody? Did you plateau?
The cost of living changes.
Yeah.
Now you're spending more business wise.
You kind of like go deeper, and you're like the pacer guy in my opinion. You know how to a little bit.
Then chances are this is probably on the mark. But
means like what's Jeff's knowledge base, right? And I'll be answering.
So like, and I'll give you an example. So if there's a headline that this guy is determined to do X, Y, Z, and he did X to go legit route. This is the argument I always have. Well, they're deep,
which they are doing. Gamora seems to be.
There's 150 clans with 200 to 300 members more. But them coming together at Sword City.
Correct.
Italy,
so you're okay. Maybe Carlo Gambino didn't live long enough, but yeah,
that's it. I think they almost overextended themselves.
Okay.
And I always use
that a little bit of philosophy in a minute, and you're going to pick on informants. But the informants that I kind of chatted with was not that institutional kind of power. So my
behind,
yeah, they just didn't have it.
And let me use this reference point.
Is the Colombians didn't really want to do business with the mob because
it didn't work in Italy.
Yeah,
because Pope Arena, right.
So unpack that a little bit.
I think, by the way, it was 5-1. He would see him pack twice at least.
That's right. We have over under, so we're gonna.
I'm just getting past the mob.
Cartels don't care. Women, children, don't care.
Now, and how has the mob evolved? And how did your
legalese now? I like
of jury bias, that kind of stuff, because he was convicted of
Peter Lamone, Hezbollah.
Yeah, I heard about
a
that.
known terror. Yeah, and then I was mentioned in 2 other indictments after that. What basically happened was I found out through somebody else, and I got the hard information.
Yeah, wow.
He wanted me strung up because I ruined their case.
Yeah, but
he was selling himself.
Yeah.
And all I hear is, get your bags, get the fuck out of New York. I don't care where you go.
Jesus.
Get rid of anything. I would have gotten rid of all my communications anyway, just because of the people I talked to. So I went and I hit out
He's lying and saying people are warning him to get out of cities.
in Jersey for like a week, and I got a couple calls during the time. It's like, you do what I told you, everything's fine. And they showed up, and they couldn't get anything because there was nothing
That's
there.
crazy.
This because we do not want friends or associates of this organized crime family
Yeah.
putting
Shouldn't us know. I've had many informants on. This show has to be fair balance. People need to give their different sides of each story. Give me kind of why do you have a disdain for informants in your opinion?
I don't disdain them. I downright
Listen.
fucking hate them.
I'll try to be nice.
All right, he don't disdain informants. He downright hates informants. Right? Let's get the volume back. I mean the speed. He hates informants. If he hates informants, why did he live with one and talk to them all on here? And why is he friends with them right now on YouTube?
Okay. But see, this is why I can say that guy's crazy. He's on medication. I have a disdain for them because no man should ever go to prison on the words of another man, number one. Number two, in 90% of the cases you look at, the informant has done more vile and disturbing crap than those
This kid is
that are being
sick.
accused. Number three, I find it oxymoronic when a man, Billy Merlino, because everybody knows who he is, goes in front of the judge, they can bring up
He
everything
was in love with Marlino
he's ever been
back
accused of,
then.
including murders and whatever else. Even though he's acquitted, it doesn't really matter because it's a character judgment. But yet in that same case, you can't turn that around and say, well, let's judge the rat. Judges don't allow that. So for me, it's like it was dark in his house, he wasn't paying attention. He puts on two different colored shoes. Nothing to do with Stevie. It was Sonny's low miss. Is that a Federico case, right? Again, another two doesn't mean I did it. But what choice do I have? Just call that a deathbed confession. He said, it doesn't matter if you're a saint. There's three.
What are some things that maybe you'd like to share, open sharing of some of the challenges you have, and more importantly, how did you overcome them?
I don't know if you ever overcome them. You find a way. After my sister died,
Hold on a
my
second.
mother was never the same.
This is what we want.
She became very emotionally abusive.
And here he uses R.I.P. the little sister. He's using the sister's death to make out the mother was abusive and vicious. Here's where he's going to tell us how abusive the mother was, burning him with cigarettes and beating him, which is not true.
Physically abusive to the point where even at 10 years old, I wanted to hang myself because
Listen,
I didn't understand.
hear what he just said. At 10 years old, he wanted to hang himself.
Mother was never the same.
Naturally,
She became very emotionally abusive, physically abusive to the point where even at 10 years old, I wanted to hang myself because I didn't understand.
He just says this for sympathy. I don't know. Angel Gotti personally told me many times that he would call her up and threaten suicide all the time. And I don't want nobody to commit suicide, hit up suicide awareness, anything like that. Nobody should ever harm themselves, ever. I had a cousin die from suicide. But he uses that to manipulate people for sympathy.
I did wrong. And anytime that happens, you go into elementary school with bruises or whatever the case may be, they always want to talk to you and find out. And they thought that
He just said that he went into elementary school with bruises, but I thought the grandfather was protecting him. Do you think the grandfather would ever let the mother beat him and abuse him like that? Well, they didn't even live in the same state as the grandfather. He might have met the grandfather once or twice in his life, if that.
I was learning disabled, but I wasn't. It was a matter of
I was scared.
I stopped bringing books home.
What's up, Lisa Marie? He wanted to hang himself because his mom was mean to him. Dude, his mother did not burn him with cigarettes. Like he said, he was chained. Now, John A. Light did make up a lie and said Fibby was molested by the mother, which is a lie, a horrendous lie. She didn't beat him or abuse him.
Home in the fourth grade because I learned differently. So I found out not until college age how I learned best, and that's reading it. I would come home and I wouldn't understand long division. Or I'd get
God
frustrated.
bless his mother is right.
It wasn't okay. Let's take it.
That's right, Tom. Who would even discuss such personals? It's all a lie. It's all a lie. He doesn't love himself. He's trying to be something he's not. Yes, he hates himself, Nick, 100%.
Was punch me in the face, spit on me,
Holy cow.
slap me, call me stupid, call me a faggot, call me.
Look, call him gay slurs and stuff. This is crazy, right? He's saying the mother would abuse him, call him gay slurs, punch him, hurt him. I don't believe that. I don't believe the mother would do that. And this is for educational purposes right here, this video. It's not to bully Fibby or nothing like that.
Worthless, call me this. And I wasn't the only one.
Wow.
But
That's right, MRH. She says he hates informants, but lived with A-Light and wanted to talk to Calandra and all them people.
my brothers were so much older than me.
Listen.
They go to college, they get the fuck away
So
from
you
me.
got the brunt of it.
I got everything. My father,
Once again, the brothers are so much older than him and went to college, but yet the brother had time to sit down and give him a Goodfellas. Tony Loman gave him a Goodfellas movie and told him his family was the mafia.
had an affair. I took the brunt of what my father did. Now, people will say, well, what kind of man was your father?
So he's saying he took the brunt of his father's affair on the mother. And this is all from YouTube. He's put this all on YouTube. He's saying that I'm bullying him by streaming. This is fair use, man. This is fair use and for educational purposes. This is fair use, dude. 1976.
Holy cow.
Slapped me, called me stupid, called me a faggot, called me worthless, called me this. And I wasn't the only one.
Wow.
But my brothers were so much older than
And
me.
we don't approve on any gay slurs on this channel or any bullying.
Yeah.
They go to college. They get
Would you mind telling people how old
Oh, this
you
is
are?
the thing
I'm
right
turning
here.
82 this year.
Wow.
God
What's
bless.
your secret?
I don't
Shout
swallow
out to
handful
Spike
of
Cult.
trendy
We're streaming
pills,
from the
don't get
Spike
beauty
Cult
Fuck
Rumble.
away
So
from
you
me.
got the brunt of it.
I got everything. My father had an affair.
Okay.
I took the brunt of what my father did. Now, people will say, well, what kind of man was your father? He didn't take you out of that. He was terrified of my uncles.
Okay.
That is
Now listen to this lie. He's saying the father was terrified of the mafia uncles. 'Cause remember, the mom side of the family is all mafia. But yet he's not telling Tom how his father was in the black ops world, like he told us many times. His father was a CIA black ops guy. So now the father is terrified of the mafia uncles. If this is a true story, why wouldn't the father tell the grandfather, hey, your daughter is abusing my son? And I think they would have all been on your father's side. Anything for the kid.
why.
Interesting.
Okay. And there was an incident where she had thrown a plate one night and knocked
Listen.
out all my teeth on the left-hand side,
Holy cow.
and he beat the daylights out of her.
Wow.
And my father was not a violent
Yeah.
guy.
He just beat the daylights out of him. He wasn't a violent guy. Remember the story where he told, you can go see my Fibby Q video on this channel, where he said he watched his father beat a man's hand with hammers with 3 other mafia guys, and they were torturing a man. So his father's not a violent guy, but he beats the shit out of the mother, and then he breaks guys' hands with hammers. I would say he's a violent guy, right? I don't even believe it, but that's a story he's telling us.
He beat the daylights out of her because she
Wow.
hurt me.
Wow.
And then eventually, there was a time in school where I told a friend I was going to kill myself. Legit was going to.
So he in school. So he's one of those kids in school going around telling everybody he's going to whackins and clippins himself. Whackins and clippins. Can I have your chocolate milk? No, you can't. Well, I'm going to do whackins and clippings to myself. Or here's a chocolate milk, Jeff. Here's 2 chocolate milks. Take 4 chocolate milks. Just don't hurt yourself, Fibby.
Do it. I couldn't live with being called names, being beat on.
Look, I couldn't live with being. That's life, motherfucker. I can't live with being called names and beat on. Stick up for yourself. Everybody's had some hardships. This is all weird sympathy. Yes, this guy lives in a glass shack, Scotty, trying to throw boulders.
And they call the police. And my father hears this and rips me right out of the house. Says, there's enough of this shit. So when you come,
Well, the school called the police. The police come to the house, take Fibby away from evil mommy, supposedly, and give him to CIA Black Ops dad, who is definitely scared, but is not scared anymore. Not scared enough to beat the hell out of the mom, right? Very weird. Very untrue.
I love my mother, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Do I
Listen.
like her? No. Do I forgive that shit? No.
She's still alive?
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
And
Wow, unfortunately, this is the woman who gave birth to him. Unfortunately, now listen to what he says about her next.
and I say that with all due respect. People are going to say, oh, how could he say that about his mother? But she once had a heart attack, Tom, right in front of me. And I hesitated for 4 minutes.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Because I said the monster's going to go. And
The
then
monster's gotta go. So he's talking about Tony Loman's mother, and he's saying, and his mother, and he's saying she had a heart attack. God forbid. God forbid. And he said he waited 4 minutes to call the emergency. Isn't that crazy? This guy, and I don't believe it anyways. It's all lies.
it kicks in. This is your mother. What are you doing? And the call saves her life.
So your father eventually took you in? They took you back in?
yeah.
Thank God.
My father she used to beat on him.
Look,
Night of their honeymoon.
listen, now he's claiming the mother was an abusive spouse to the father. CIA, Black Ops daddy, Mr. Navy was abused and beat up by the mother. Listen to this shit. And I feel bad for Tony Loman having a brother like this.
Okay, they're living in the Keys. He was stationed in the Keys. They got married in Providence.
Gigi Gorgeous, my friend. What's going down? It's good to see you, Gigi. Shout out Gigi Gorgeous.
He said, hey, hon, can you iron a shirt for me tonight? She was not going to have it, so she cracked him over the head with an aerosol and busted his head wide open.
Yikes.
So he says now the mother, he wanted his shirt ironed. She cracked his head open.
And he always used to tell me, he says, do you know what it's like, son, to be, because he was trying to explain stepping out.
Yeah, of course.
And it wasn't until I was older that I got it. He goes,
Yeah.
do you know what it's like every day to feel worthless?
Wow.
I said, well, yeah.
And your father passed there?
He's like, well, yeah. He's like, hey, son, do you know how every day it is to feel worthless? And Fibby's like, well, yeah. I don't even believe that. Who would be telling these insane something? There's got to be some truths in these lies, right? There's got to be some truths. R.I.P. to your mom, Atlas. There's got to be some truths in these lies. What? We don't know. He's an enigma.
Yeah.
Okay. How long ago?
2004.
Okay. Sorry.
And that's where the story kind of
He was pretty
deviates.
young.
Yes, BK, you're right. And his father took him in, him and the woman, Laura Lohman, his stepmom, shout out to Thorpe. And he couch surfed. He didn't want to get a job. He just smooched and sat on the couch. That's all he did, not work.
Me too.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So coming from not having self-esteem, coming from never being good enough, I could bring home straight A's.
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter. I got to catch a beat.
Poor Fibby. Poor you. You know what this is, Fibby? It's the world's longest violin. Give me a break.
So you are obviously going to be somewhat guarded, obviously, right? And I know in this space you had some battles. I'm not going to give anybody anything,
Sure.
right? But in general, you had some battles. Do you think it might not get to like Dr. Phil, but do you think it might be, hey, you don't take a lot of crap or take very little crap, because by taking crap, it might
100%. That's what it is. It's not that. It's not that I'm like some roaming tough guy.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm some roaming tough guy. I'm the Marlboro man. And look at it. It's not like I'm some roaming tough guy. Nobody thinks you're a roaming tough guy.
I have zero threshold for people who abuse other people because I know what that's like.
Correct.
Listen to that.
And I think
Listen to that hypocrisy.
it's a lightning rod for me.
Yeah.
You won't say that to me
Yeah.
because I'm sure to people on the outside they think, man, he's crazy. They don't understand.
Yeah.
Wow, but people on the outside think, wow, man, he's crazy. Nobody thinks that. Everybody thinks you're a liar and the biggest joke on you. Why does she stick up for him? I'm not sure. She feels bad for him. She believes he's totally mentally insane. She told me that in person, that he's mentally insane. She says she can't get rid of him. That's the problem. The real issue is she knows if she gets rid of him, he will attack her. So she keeps him as a friend instead. And that makes her look like a total dodo brain.
And one thing I do on my podcast,
Because he attacked her viciously too.
people don't know is I talk about this.
Yeah.
And I tell people it's okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
It's okay not to be okay. Listen to how low IQ he is.
You don't have to have the house, the white picket fence, the
Yeah.
two kids and the dog. Live how you want to live because parents will put expectations on you.
That you should have to
See,
say.
for my mother, it was all about how she looked.
Yeah.
Like I could recount.
He hates his mother. Look how animated he gets. And look at the Jones Collins. Look, right off the set of Knots of Landon, right off Joan Collins' back. Look at these padded arm pads right here. Look at these shoulder pads. Oh, my God.
Time after time, like after I got arrested and all of this stuff happened, she goes, oh, the felon's here. Like,
wow.
this is like, she would say stuff to.
Did you notice that? Yeah, no, that's very important. He said the mother, when he would walk in the house, the mother would say, oh, look, the felon's here. Now, think about that. His mother is supposed to be from a mafia family, but all the cousins are disappearing, getting whacked, going to jail, whackings and clip-ins. Remember, he told us a story where his mother told him about how cousin Norman went on a long vacation because he didn't pay money. So why would she call Fibby a felon? Oh, the felon's here. Like, wouldn't he come back with like, Ma, your whole family's felons? But nope, it's all a lie.
Girlfriends. Oh, we always thought he was gay. Like, just to be a bitch.
Wow.
Did you hear that? When all the girlfriends came over, she says this.
Say that to me.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure to people on the outside, they think, man, he's crazy. They don't understand.
Yeah.
And one thing I do on my podcast that a lot of people don't know is I talk about this.
Yeah.
And I tell people it's okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to have the house, the white picket fence, the two kids
Yeah.
and the dog. Live how you want to live because parents will put expectations on you.
That you should have to
See,
say.
for my mother, it was all about how she looked.
Yeah.
Like I could recount time after time, like after I got arrested and all of this stuff happened, she goes, oh, the felon's here. Like,
wow.
this is like, she would say stuff to girlfriends. Oh, we always thought he was gay. Like, just to be a bitch.
Wow.
And that.
So when the girlfriends came in, the mother would reply, wow, we always thought he was happy. We always thought Fibby was happy. And if you remember what him and his friend Boston Andy, I have the video up. It's on Fibby Tales. Remember they were talking about where Andy was saying, Fibby, you still have the videos of the turtle sex and the horse sex. And he's always accusing people of sending him CP and bestiality. It's very weird. Maybe he could be like that.
That is what I'll never forget. At 10 years old, I was put in front of a judge. I got in big trouble when I was 10. This is when
I got in big trouble when I was 10. He acts like this is the start of his criminal world.
acting out started. Yeah. And a judge looked at me and says, young man, you're going to end up in prison the rest of your life. And I said,
he says he's a 3-time felon, which is a lie. He said he had a guy sit with a gun on another guy on his case. Lie.
Good, because then somebody can't hurt me.
Wow.
But I'm glad that wasn't true.
Yeah.
Because I made a conscious choice. That
he said to the judge, send me to jail so nobody can hurt me, meaning the mother's hurting him.
And you notice I don't say moral choice.
Yeah.
Okay. But I make the conscious choice of, do I want to be able to put my hand on the pillow at night and just be worried about normal stuff, or do I want to be sweating it out?
Yeah.
Because during my criminal trial, I sweated it out every night for 2 years.
The
Freaked
criminal
out.
trial.
So that
His criminal trial, he sweated it out for 2 years. He snitched on his two friends. His lawyer even admitted it right on Angel's show with him on it.
sort of progressed into why I am who I am.
Yeah.
Listen, I've been beat up plenty of times in my life. Who hasn't?
Listen.
But if you come at me like that,
You're biting back.
oh, beyond. Like,
Yeah.
I won't do what's fair, right?
Yeah.
But when my father died,
Listen.
I died.
Yeah.
A large part of
Now that's sick. Come on. When my father died, I get you loved your dad, but why do you disrespect him and make all lies up about him? The stories that he's told about his father is just terrible, man. Terrible. His father beating people with hammers and sexual innuendo things, gay guys coming over with weird stuff. God bless you, Jeff.
me went, and I ended up homeless.
Wow.
Had nowhere to go. Things were tough.
Wow. That's
I
He
went,
said he ended up homeless. Why didn't his brother Tony Loman take him in? Wonder why. Why didn't all the mafia people you know take you in? All the wise guys you went to the Frankie Valli concerts with that you said. None of them took you in?
from 180 pounds to 120.
holy cow.
And, drugs was never my thing. Alcohol was never my
Yeah.
thing. And I can remember, and I remember buying a gun.
Yeah.
Brand new.
Listen to this story, and this is insane.
Put it to my head, pulled the trigger. Didn't go off.
I was loaded.
Yeah.
Did
Didn't
you
go
hear
off,
that?
Right? Put it out the window. Pop, pop, pop. Goes off. Put it back to my head. Doesn't work.
That might have been your father helping.
100%. 100%. Things were tough.
Wow. That's
I went
crazy.
from 180 pounds to 120.
Holy cow.
And, drugs was never my thing. Alcohol was never my
Yeah.
thing. And I can remember, and I remember buying a gun.
Yeah.
Brand new. Put it to my head, pulled the trigger. Didn't go off.
I was loaded.
Yeah. Didn't go
Holy
off.
cow.
Right?
Tom's like, it was loaded. He's like, I put a gun to my head. It didn't go off. Watch this story. This is insane. This is mathematically impossible.
Put it out the window. Pop, pop, pop. Goes off. Put it back to my head. Doesn't work.
That might have been your
Look at
father
that.
helping.
100%.
Who would believe that story? He bought a brand new gun, puts it to his head, it don't go off, puts it out the window, pop, 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 puts it back to his head, it don't go off. Come on, people. He also said he was shot twice.
100%. So when you don't feel like you're worth a grain of salt, and then you try to do something like this,
Yeah.
and you have these
Yeah,
bastards.
he said he had 100 first cousins. Not a single one would take him in. Great call, Milwaukee. Sounds like a Ghost Boy story, right? Fibby roulette. Fibs roulette.
Who know nothing about you, your
Yeah.
past, or what you've been through.
Yeah.
I'm a tough individual because this would have killed. I came to New York City, Tom.
Listen to this. I'm a tough individual. Look how weak he is. He won't even turn his comments on. Just by me playing his own words and catching him in his lies, he's been going crazy. Totally going crazy.
With $100 in my pocket.
Wow.
Nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. And look at where I'm at now.
Wow. Yeah.
And that's one
Henry Street.
reason why I love Angel Gotti.
Yeah.
Oh, Beantown, what's up? And look at him here. He'll look at him glazing Angel Gotti. You really, supposedly, you left her in the dirt this week. Now listen to the glazing of Angel Gotti, who he doesn't care nothing about. He doesn't give a shit about. He just uses her for clout. This is her homie right here, who's done a horrible disservice to her last week. Let's listen.
Think about you, your
Yeah.
past, or what you've been through.
Yeah.
I'm a tough individual because this would have killed. I came to New York City, Tom.
Yeah.
With $100 in my pocket.
Wow.
Nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. And
So I called crazy. He went to a mental ward and they found him a home.
look at where I'm at now.
Wow. Yeah.
And
I'm at now.
that's one reason why I love Angel Gotti.
Yeah.
Because when I had nothing,
She helped out.
she said, do you need anything? No, because I never asked for nothing. But she made sure I had money to eat,
Yeah.
especially on Thanksgiving. She's like, no, it sucks being alone, but please go
That's
somewhere.
fantastic.
So even if her and I,
Yeah, all right. She said, listen, we just said, Angel said, it sucks being alone. Please go somewhere. She didn't invite him over her house for Thanksgiving. She made him a turkey sandwich and put it on the sidewalk in front of her house. He came by and grabbed it. If you notice, she goes, it's Thanksgiving. You got nowhere to go. You should go with somebody. She didn't invite him to her house, though.
I butt heads.
Yeah.
That I'll never forget. And that name saved me in a lot of different situations. So
Really? You didn't save her this week, Fibby. You left her in the fucking dust, that's for sure. You didn't save her that much this week, Fib, if that's even true. Who knows with the way these people lie and go undercover. But you'll take the blame.
the way that I sort of typically look at things is like,
Okay.
it doesn't matter what anybody thinks of me, doesn't matter how tough I say I am, it's growth.
Yeah.
And
It doesn't matter how tough I say I am.
am I still that guy that doubts everything he does? Of course.
Yeah,
And
Of course, he always will be that liar. I'm going to show you. Look at this. 20 interview questions with Jeff Canarsie, Jeffrey Lohman. And today, this is a Gangland History podcast who took down this episode, but we have it. Yes, we do. In the interview, we discuss a range of topics, including Jeff's early life growing up in Providence, Rhode Island. False, Jacob Stukes. You should take this down. You should take this down, Stukes. Jeff's mother and father, as well as his extended family, #mafia, what it was like growing up within the mob-connected family. That's a total fucking lie. He's not even Italian. And yes, you can be other nationalities and hang out with wise guys, but his family wasn't that. He wasn't around none of these people. When he realized his family, look at this. Stories about Jeff's grandfather, including the infamous beach story that changed 3 times, the story of his mom borrowing his grandfather's car, and much more. When he realized his family was a part of the mob in Providence, which is not true. His cousin Joe Badry, which is not even his cousin. Even if it was his 4th or 5th cousin, he's never met him or knew him or hung out with him or ran the streets with him. Joe Badry was a very old guy, sick, and who was Lebanese, and who was in Florida during the 80s. I don't know how Jeff would have ever met him, what it's like growing up in Providence during the tumultuous 1980s and 90s. He didn't grow up in Providence. The darker side of the mob lifestyle, how it affected his family. We also, Jeff's intro to crime and how things escalated, how Jeff was arrested and formed on by several counterparts, nearly sent to a long prison stretch. That's a lie. This is all a lie. Jeff's personal stance on government informants, a.k.a. rats. He lived with one. He's friends with Dominic Sicali and brags about Gene Borello and lives right near Hootie. Turning his life around and starting Mob Talk Radio is now a decade old and an utter failure. The Fibby Tales channel gets more views and interaction than his channel does. So does my shitty little channel. I don't even have 2,000 subscribers. My view count, my likes, my interaction, everything blows his channel away. Wow. Turning Mob Talk Radio into such success and valuable business. How Jeff developed a relationship with alleged wise guys in Philadelphia and New York. No, he stalked Joey Merlino at trial, pretending to be a reporter. How he became a member of several social clubs. He's not a member of any social clubs. There's not even. Give me a break. What's coming next for Jeff in the future of Mob Talk Radio? Uncle MRE in the Total Providence Smackdown. Now let's get back to our Spike Cult. The Spike Cult, if you're on Rumble, check out my boy.
And that filters into relationships in ways that people don't imagine. So I love my mother, but at the same time, it's how much is enough? Yeah. And her and I
several social club and socials.
Had a conversation, Tom. She looked at me, she says, I did the best I could. Best you could is smacking the shit out of me, leaving me bruised and battered. And listen, I can take a physical beating.
Look, doing the best is beating the shit, leave me bruised and battered. That's a lie. Maybe the mother slapped him in his head a few times. My mother beat my ass in 6th, 7th grade when I got suspended. I remember my mother hitting me with a shoe. That's not beating me. That's just getting a fucking slap from your mom and dad, man.
Like the best of them.
I am so grateful and blessed I have such a great mother. I have one of the best Irish mothers you can ever find. I would never disrespect my mother like this, ever.
It's the emotional.
If you don't mind me asking this, sometimes when there's like obviously trauma brought into your adulthood or adult trauma as well, very often you look to kind of reconcile with that person in some way. Hey, I'll never forgive you. I'll never forget it. But just like help me understand a little bit and try to like, kind of.
He forgives everybody. The people make fun of him all the time. I could hit him up right now and be his best friend. He says he loves Angel Gotti so much. Well, he's friends with the guys who said that their kids and their friends are going to grape, G for grape her daughter and her daughter-in-law. These guys tortured that woman sexually, not just her. They tortured my friend Josie, said they were going to her, said they were going to all the women on here, putting up people's dead parents, dead family members. They talked about little Frankie Gotti. Every fucking made fun of John Gotti Sr. And he loves her so much, he's friends with them. Who would do that? Nobody. He's a cunt, and she's a whack job. They're made for each other.
Wrap it up a little bit. Or
2 weak people getting bullied and abused on YouTube and then bending their knee to these animals that anybody from anybody from any neighborhood, any stand-up person from any fucking neighborhood would look at you like a total weak imbecile.
A little bit. Do you even want to do that with her?
What they did to fucking a lot of our friends on here, deceased family members, was disgusting. And a lot of people on here's moms or dads passed away. And he's friends with them. And the guy who stole valor too. He's so much honor for his dad. All he hangs out with rats and stolen valor people.
No.
She's one too? Okay.
No, I mean, what are you going to say?
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do I relive it every day? No. But I'm also not going to put myself in a toxic situation.
Yeah.
I can love from afar.
You can love from afar.
My siblings, who didn't have the best go of it either, want to put
Dave from Boston, what's up? No, he's talking about Tony Lohman right here. Watch what he says.
Dressing up. Oh, she's old now. No.
Yeah.
You can put a silk hat on a pig. It's still a fucking pig.
Yeah.
And
he just called his mother a pig. That's disgusting.
I don't care. Just because you weren't there doesn't mean it didn't happen to me.
Correct.
And the acting
Just because you weren't there, you said they got it too, though, earlier.
out and the bad stuff I did was direct. Granted, it's a choice. We make a choice, but it's a direct correlation to what happened to me. And they instead want to play the whole game of, well, you decided to become a gangster. You wanted to do this.
Oh, so he's saying Tony Lohman said you decided to become a gangster. What's up, Mob Talk? I mean, Mon Talk. He just said Tony Lohman and the other brothers and sisters said you decided to become a gangster. No, what they really said was you decided to lie about being a gangster and our family in the mafia.
You don't understand the ramifications of that.
Yeah.
And they're more fucked up than me. The difference is I went and got help for it.
Yeah.
Because
He just said his brothers and sisters are more fucked up than him. Dude, your brother Tony Lohman is a provost at a college. He's a very smart, well-educated, well-do man and a good dad. Your brother's got his shit together, man. You are the fucking black sheep lowlife of the family. Tony Lohman's got his shit together, but look how he talks about them.
I wanted to understand you can't unfuck yourself.
Would you go through years of therapy?
Of course.
Yeah.
You have to, because if not, Tom, I'd have killed somebody.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Straight up. We also have videos on our channel. A lot of videos are privated right now because they're being moved over here. We have videos of him planning out a whole heist to unalive his stepmom. Big hatred towards women.
Killed somebody.
Good for you.
You know, you have to figure out, you can't unfuck yourself, right?
Yeah.
But what you have to figure out is how you can just accept yourself as being flawed.
Accept yourself.
I know I'm a good guy, but I don't react to people who want to.
Yeah. Which is a lot of this in this space.
Yeah.
Wow, it's amazing. This kid is such a hypocrite.
I would say my day job as a marketer, and as an expression, pioneers get slaughtered, settlers prosper. And you've been a pioneer in this space. And there's a lot of people kind of prospering around you that started.
They all ripped me off.
That started after.
He said they all ripped him off. All these mob hump channels ripped him off. What a psycho.
You started. What
How
do you do to kind
How
of
long have we been live here?
keep your edge, and what do you do to kind of stay ahead of the curve?
I just keep doing my thing.
Okay.
I think people ask me all the time, oh, what's your favorite mob content you watch? I don't watch it.
Yeah, you don't
Because
want
this
it.
way I can honestly say, oh, I didn't get that idea from here, here, and
Good
here,
point.
right? That's number one.
Where would you get the idea? You get the ideas from Wikipedia and fucking TV and rats.
Number two, 85% of it's all nonsense, not true.
Yeah.
And based in drama and numbers and views.
Yeah.
Me personally, I would rather have somebody say that was the best show. It's helped me
Yeah.
through whatever,
Yeah.
or I got great entertainment versus seeing 1,000 clicks.
Now, how do you?
How would someone watching a show on Jeff help? I don't get it. What's up, Dave? If Fibby was in England, he would be related to the Cray brothers. You're right. Yes, FBS punked him for a microphone. Yes, he got him for a microphone. This dude's such a gimp that all these dudes on here are sucking him for money, microphones.
I'm doing a better job of this now.
And mind you, FBS tortured the woman he just said he loved, that he would do anything for in the world. He tortured her and her family too. And he buys their microphones. That's why all these people in these genres, like as Harry says, genres of these mob fucking historians, they're all phonies. They're all fake people that will do anything and kiss anybody's ass, that if they think you got a mobster family member, they'll kiss your ass. That's why they do it to Angel, because they use her for clout and her name for clout. And they go around telling people they're related to John Gotti and they knew him.
Good example in a minute. But how do you protect your IP? How do you protect from copyrights, copycats, and that kind of stuff? Are you something you take on, something more you leave alone? How do you kind of work around that?
Hold on a second.
to fight that with an attorney.
Yeah.
Now I don't do anything because
how do you fight copyrights? He false flags people, false strikes.
I don't want their money.
Yeah.
He was calling for false strikes. I saved that clip, Fibby. I am gonna email that to YouTube next time you strike me, you punk.
Right? That's number one. Number two, most of these people just
yes, New Orleans, you said it, bro. They want Junior to know who they are. They want to go over there and eat some Parmesan with.
aren't even afraid by an attorney letter.
Yeah.
It's flattering in a sense because if you look at, and no names, but if you look at what I did 2017 and look at what came out during the pandemic, every single fucking one of them stole what I do.
Wow.
They all want to be the brash in your face, attack the rats. Yeah. But the reality for me is people know who I am.
Yeah.
I think where the frustration part is that.
What does he mean attack the rats? Dude, all you did was suck off rats. You're a big Dominic Sicali fan. You lived with A-Light. Your word is, that's why people don't watch you no more. Because you can say you're, like I always use the term fireman, but you don't act like a fireman, right? You're a fireman, but you see a fire happen, you don't run for it, right? You can say you grew up in a mob family and these Joan Collins shoulder pads and all this, but you don't act like it. You wouldn't be going living with stool pigeons. You got caught lying too many times. Scotty Bugatti.
Like when you do a video that is top to bottom the truth, and you see somebody take the same sort of format or idea,
this is so
and they say stuff that's like not even accurate, and you see the people that they're following them don't even call them out. Yeah. It's kind of like, now where do I stand? Am I just like old news now?
My old news now?
Yeah.
You know, and people will tell you, oh, you do the best, you do all the facts, but it's like, I'm getting inundated and attacked nonstop. Yeah. But I'm not seeing any of these people being called out for saying that Phyllis McGuire is Carlo Gambino's daughter. And saying,
well, listen, those guys are not coming on here saying that their family's Raymond Petriarca and they're in the mob. They were shot twice. They were bookies up Federal Hill. All these family lies.
Giancana was his son. That's how stupid this shit is. You know? And
then you go back and forth. I know, and you could probably agree. I think the pendulum started to swing the other way, where there were some people, if you really look at, would you think the pendulum is going to still continue kind of the other way? Or
want to know why the diabetes industry is trying to ban apple cider vinegar? You probably have it at home, and it's making their 20.
There's going to be a storm for a.
All right. Once again, the adoption thing. We just heard him lie right to Tom's face about adoption. No, that's the Fibby one. Hold on a second. Just lie right to Tom's face with adoption. Oh, hold on a second. Oh, I went to this one. All right, hold on. Let me get you right back. I want to show you the pictures on my channel of the father and him, and God rest the father's soul. War veteran, great guy. But unlike Fibby's lie, the father is his biological dad. There was never two fathers. Look at him smiling right here. And now look at this picture of the dad smiling. Looks just like Jeff. I should go to Tony Loman. Give me one second. Let me let you look at Spike Cult for a minute. I'm going to grab you Tony Loman's video and show you Tony Loman so you can see that the brother is his birth brother. Like, and why would he do that? I believe to tell people he is Italian. To tell people he's Italian. That's the only reason.
It should be.
That's Ren and Stimpy, but this is Tony Loman.
Program is
Dr. Tony Loman.
Is operating in the School of Osteopathic Medicine. They're already there, side by side, day by day.
This is Jeff's brother, his blood brother, the one who gave him the Goodfellas thing and who didn't want to admit Jeff was beat and all this stuff. This is his blood brother.
And we talk silos and we talk people.
And I don't know what nationality they are. Maybe they're Jewish, Lebanese, or I don't know. I don't know what nationality these guys. And I really don't care. But I do care about Fibby's lie and exposing that. This is his blood relative. So Loman is his birth name. That's why he had two different adoption stories.
How many people out of the sim labs have come to me and say, "Hey Tony, how can we help? How can we be a part of it?" You know, and
thank you, crew. That's Angela's channel. Please support Angela and give her a sub. Check out her Yorkies. Oh, you'll be doing a quick live. Good. Tell me when. I'm almost done. I'm gonna see what time. I'm gonna see how long I've been live over here. It doesn't tell me. All right, an hour, and I'm gonna go only an hour and a half. And make sure everybody goes over to Angela's channel and supports Angela.
That's why this is going at the pace it's going, is because people see it and people want to be a part of it.
Look, and his brother's a very successful man. He's the dean. He's a dean at fucking a college, Rowan College. This is his brother and a very successful man. Remember, he said all of his family members. Let's watch the other one more time. We're done with the Spike cult one. Make sure so. We're gonna go watch the Fibby one where he says he could put leg breakers on his family's applications. Why didn't he say my brother's a dean?
Tell us a little bit about yourself and your background.
Why not say your brother's a dean out of college, right? Isn't that something to be proud of? Shit, my brother's a provost at Rowan College. That's something to be proud of. This came from Fibby interview, April 14, 2016.
I was born in Canarsie, Brooklyn, and spent a brief part of my childhood there. At age 10, we moved to Providence, Rhode Island, where my mom was from. She came from a really large family, and that's actually where my parents met. Newport, Rhode Island. I don't exactly come from a traditional family in the sense of the phrase. Traditionally, families have doctors, lawyers, professional people.
People like your brother?
And don't get me wrong, we have those too. But there is another side to all that which I will get into at some point. But let's just say
Here's the deal. What's Angela's channel? Can somebody drop Angela's channel for Greg? Give it a sub.
I'm from a very political family and a family who could put leg breaker on a job application if that was universally acceptable as a job skill.
Leg breaker on a job application. Give me a break.
When did your interest in organized crime start, and how did you build up
Newport's full of doctors and stuff.
the extensive knowledge you have on the subject?
I don't think I have told anyone this story ever. I was 11 years old, and I was at a local video store with my brother.
With his brother, Tony Lohman, the guy we just seen. You think this guy would do this? Listen.
Of course, wanted to rent some ninja movie. He wouldn't have it and grabbed a copy of Goodfellas. He said it was important that I watch it, and I needed to understand it. I had no idea what he meant, but I started seeing things in that movie I recognized. The suits, the cars, the language, the whispered conversations. I had an immediate flash forward to my relatives. Things like, Uncle Jimmy talks like him, or
Uncle Jimmy talks like him.
Tony dresses like that.
Uncle Tony dresses like that.
The movie drew a parallel to the people I loved and called Uncle.
The movie's not even Italian.
Grandpa. All through that movie, my brother kept saying, "See, do you see?
See, do you see? See, so say, can you see the lies early light of the bullshit we don't thrown and the bullshit we rained on Gorky?"
Took me a while to understand, but he was essentially telling me what my family did for living. There were
And the mafia's red glare left Fibby's butt in the air, and the night that Pierre and Fago gangbang
signs I began to put together a few years later, but I was totally intoxicated.
Rat Trap City, what's up? Make sure you sub to Rat Trap City. Check out the Skull Bros channel. We have the Stalking Joey Merlino video up there.
By what I saw. From that day on, any book I could get my hands on, or any whispered conversation I could overhear, I wanted to be
like a little snitch. Any conversation I get over here. How could you hear conversations about the mob? Your family's not in the mob. You weren't even from my city.
Think of it. I leaned to play dumb and listen to those conversations, and I could read between the lines. Things like, Joey had to go away. He was terminal, followed by laughter. It didn't take a rocket
Joey had to go. Tony's telling him Joey had to go away. Ha, ha, ha.
Scientist to figure out what they meant. I was hooked from day one.
Have you got any special guests lined up in the near future for the show, and if so, who?
Some guys on the burner, as they say. Jimmy Calandra is a guy the first would like to have on, but I get requests for a ton of different people all the time, and I have to schedule it out, and that's not always easy. I have talked to Frank Ganji, and I am still working on those details. I did a Q&A with Dominic Montiglio. He felt more comfortable
All stool pigeons.
going that route, but maybe I can convince him of otherwise. The big one is Nicky Scarfo. I reached out to him in prison to answer some questions, and I am still waiting to hear from him. Apparently my show is listened to in prisons. I have no idea how, but too many people have told me otherwise, so...
They're lying to you.
Who knows?
Who inspires you?
My grandfather is my biggest inspiration. He was really special. It's not just what he did, but it's how he led his life. The lessons he taught me I still take everywhere with me today. Some might ask how I can love someone so much who might have done some pretty bad things.
He wants to be like, oh, it's so complicated, the relationship. My grandfather was so dangerous and stuff, but I still loved him.
The answer to that is cliche, but who did he hurt? They only hurt those in that life.
Wow.
He did whatever he might have done because the ends justified the means.
The ends, okay, Machiavelli, Fibbivelli.
Protected us, loved us, and I never saw that bad side of him ever.
Well, what about the guy throwing the plate glass window?
The only thing I ever saw was one time on Federal Hill.
Listen.
He went into a laundromat to pick up some clothes. There was a drunk guy inside hassling the owner.
Number one, a drunk guy would not be hassling Louis in his fucking laundromat. You idiot.
Grandfather tried to intercede. He was being diplomatic about the situation. The guy called my grandfather a wop. And
nobody's gonna call somebody a wop in Louis' laundromat. You fucking idiot. I know the guy he's talking about is a friend of mine who passed away a couple years ago. You can go Google him. The Last Dawn of Providence. Go watch it. Fibby saying that this assault happened in his laundromat. The windows were too thick. None of this would have happened. It's all ridiculous. Louis was on the run in the early 80s anyways. Louis wasn't even there. He was on the run.
Grandfather threw him through a plate glass storefront window.
Bullshit.
I asked him later in life why he did that, and his response was twofold. He said,
You're a liar. All right, folks, I'm done here. Make sure you go watch Angela's channel. I want to thank everybody for the cash apps. I really appreciate it. I'm going to buy Rocco some bones and grab a coffee. I thank you all. Please share this around. Please share this if you got a channel. I've shared your channel before. I'm trying to get all my viewers over here, let them all know where I'm at. So please share this. Come back, leave some comments. BK, my bro, Ian, Peter, David, Fibby Montana. Yeah, it's Steven, Ken. Yeah, hit the like button, come back, leave a comment. It helps the channel out. I want to thank everybody for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. And if this is just the beginning, we have more. Yeah, we'll be on tonight at Rat Trap Cities watching the Gemstones. Come check us out over there on Rumble. And we got more Fibby adoption stories. We got Mommy Dearest coming up. We got a lot of Fibby stuff down the road. Shout out to Thorpe. We got words from a stepbrother coming. Fibby really opened a can of worms. Yeah, he could stop it in a way if he takes a strike away, but I don't even care about that no more. Kind of just going to roll on with the Fibster. Hardcore edition.